How many of you in here have an idea? Maybe it's for a sweet potato pie company. Maybe it's to teach toddlers how to read. Maybe it's a tech company. Or maybe one of you is going to create that robot that's going to kick these terrible drivers off the road. Now, the next question is going to require complete honesty. How many of you in here feel completely unqualified to do that idea? Maybe you feel like an outsider. Me too. My name is Brandice Daniel, and I started a company, Harlems Fashion Row, which is a platform for multicultural fashion designers, as a complete outsider, a proud outsider. And I believe that the real winners are on the outside. Now, here are a few photos from some of our events. And I'm so proud of these photos right now. But for the first 3 years of Harlems Fashion Row, I didn't let anyone know who was behind it. I didn't want anyone to know that a complete outsider was behind what was becoming a pretty hot event for multicultural fashion designers. I remember having a conversation with God. I said, okay, you gave me this idea to start, but who's gonna finish this? I even went so far as to think about fashion insiders that I thought would be so much better for this. What about Terry? She's a fashion editor for a fancy magazine. What about Harold? He started several businesses. He would be great to do this. Am I the only one? Do you ever have an idea, one that you're passionate about, and you say to yourself, boy, I can't wait until someone does that idea? Well, guess what? Let me come closer. If you had the idea is for you. Why in the world do we keep trying to push our ideas off on our children, the man down the street, our 10 Twitter followers? Being an outsider is a gift. You have a blank slate. You don't know the players, the rules, or the obstacles. You don't know who's tried to go that way before. You don't know the protocol. You don't know who the kings or the queens are. Now, here is where I wish I had some really great statistics, because what's a good TED Talk without statistics? But this right here is gonna come from experience. You're scared. I get it. It feels like a cliff jump. And people aren't that nice. When you start working on your idea as an outsider, they're gonna start whispering. Well, in Memphis, they whisper. In New York, they say it loud and to your face. What qualified him to do that? What experience does she have? And you're right. They probably are gonna ask those questions. I'll never forget the very first time I pitched a designer in New York. It was for our first fashion show. With knots in my stomach, I walked into that store, that cozy boutique in Harlem that had dark hardwood floors. There were plants in the window, very eclectic decor, and really cool clothes. The owner, the designer, she was on the other side of the counter, and she was a straight shooter. She had these dark rimmed glasses and this big, beautiful afro. I was so happy that one of my friends just happened to be shopping in there when I went in. It helped me to just kind of get my nerves together. I walked up to her and introduced myself. Hi, I'm Brandice. I'm the one who sent you the envelope, you know, the letter, the one on chartreuse paper with the chocolate-covered bow. Now, for the men in the room, that's green paper with a brown bow, okay? She looked at me slowly. Yes, I got the letter. And what she asked me next let me know that this was not gonna be easy. Who are you? Where are you from? I'm Brandice. I'm from Memphis. I assumed she could hear my Southern accent. And I was really hoping at that moment that I didn't say something like y'all or man to my friend that I was talking to. Have you ever produced a show before? No, ma'am. Who do you know in fashion? No one that you would know. Well, why in the world would I trust a brand that I've been working on for over 10 years to you? And what I wanted to say at this moment was, I have no freaking idea. Let me get the heck out of here. But what I actually said was, you can trust me. I'm going to do a great job. This is going to be an amazing event. And I could see her going in for the no. But before she did, I said, don't say no. Say you'll think about it, and I'll come back. I walked out of that beautiful boutique in Harlem and had a serious conversation with myself. And don't look at me like that. I know I'm not the only one. Brandice, what were you thinking? Who in the world is going to trust you? What connections do you have? What do you have, like 4 friends? And the other day, you said something about loving Burberry, and they said, what do you mean, blackberry or strawberry? I don't know what a Burberry is. So clearly I was on my own, and I was gonna have to get really creative in order to get fashion people to actually take a chance on me. Eventually that designer came on board, and so did 3 other designers. But it was after I had gone to them over and over and over. There is something about a relentless outsider that people can't resist. I'm not saying that they're gonna like you at first, but they are gonna be curious about you. There was nothing that qualified me. My only qualification was this idea that brought me to tears when I thought about the fact that African Americans spent over $22 billion a year on apparel, but less than 1% of designers in major department stores were designers of color. I had to act on it, to do what I could with what I had. And as I kept going, guess what? People started to join me. Brands like Macy's and Tresemme and Google started to sponsor our events. Elite fashion organizations like the CFDA and IMG started to support us. And then in 2017, while I was here in Memphis, I got a phone call from Nike. And they said that they had an athlete that wanted to design a shoe for women. And they wanted to know if I knew any designers. And of course I did. That athlete was LeBron James. And we designed, along with these 3 incredible designers here that you can see, the LBJ HFR 16 shoe. I remember when that shoe went on sale, I dropped my daughter off to daycare. Before I had made it through a few lights, the shoe had sold out. So unfortunately, it's not available for sale. But that, and I know you guys feel like, I know that you feel like shrinking. I am the queen of shrinking, but the world needs your idea. If I had seen any of these headlines when I first started out, I would have felt like going underneath the bed with a blanket over my head and sunglasses on for good measure. But this is what happens when you act on an idea that tugs at your heart and you don't quit. And it was tugging on my heart. The designers of color needed to be seen, heard, and supported. It would be great if we were all insiders. When you're an insider, you make a few phone calls, you send a few emails, maybe you pay off a few Russian oligarchs, and voila, things happen. But I've been an outsider for over 12 years, and it's not that bad. And actually, I'm in good company. So what I want to do is give you the 5 ways to win as an outsider. Number 1, be prepared to hear no. You're an outsider. Of course people are going to doubt you. They don't know you. So even if you have to go out into a sea of no's to get your yes, grab your yes and go. Number 2, make as many mistakes as possible. The gift right now is that you're under the radar. No one really knows you. This is the time to make the mistakes. I know we get caught up in analysis paralysis, but just make a decision. Don't delay what you're going to do with your idea because you can't think of a logo or the name of your business. go. Number 3, try and quit as many ideas as possible related to your idea. I've tried so many things and I've quit so many things. And guess what? Who called me? Who emailed me? No one, because I was a complete outsider and no one cared. Number 4, build a tribe one coffee at a time. You need to build relationships in your industry. People don't know you, you don't know them. So what you do is get their business card, send them a card, put a $5 Starbucks card in it. Guess what? It works. I did it. And people might think either you're a little bit crazy or you're very passionate, but some of them are going to come closer and they're going to be curious enough to learn about your idea. Number 5, build a team that has your back. The people who are with you at the beginning of your idea, those are the people who are either passionate about you or they're passionate about your idea. But those are the people that you want to keep around. Those are the people who, when you are ready to give up, those are the people who are going to keep you going and keep pushing you. Now, let me introduce you guys to a few outsiders you might know. He was the first black president. There had never been one before him. He was black. He had a name like Barack Obama, and he was born in Hawaii. He was an outsider, but guess what? He became president. J.K. Rowling, she's the author of Harry Potter, but she was on welfare. She went out to over 12 publishing houses, and guess what? They all told her no, but she expected a no. She just needed her yes. And when she got her yes, well, you know the rest. Soulja Boy. You guys all know Crank That, right? Soulja Boy, the music industry did not take him serious. But guess what? He was the first artist to sell over 3 million copies of a digital single. Now, the last slide is you. This is you. This is your idea. You're unqualified. You're an outsider. But the idea is yours. What are you going to do with it? Acting on an idea as a complete outsider will change your world. You'll get to experience things you never thought possible. You'll get to impact more lives than you could ever imagine. And you'll get to feel something that every single person in this room desires to feel, fulfilled. You don't need another degree. You don't need another credential. You don't need another certification. You are enough. Even as an outsider, especially as an outsider, the real win is going to happen when you decide to go for it, knowing that it's not going to be easy. If you ask me, the real winners are on the outside. Thank you.